thy neighbors thyself. Neighbors hate each other worse than Cain hated Abel. That's why we got so many problems. Wars and rumors of wars. And when they say God was sorry that he created man, that's not true. The Greeks wrote that. If God was so sorry he created man, why did he sacrifice himself for many of us? Gave his only begotten son to show you how he loved what he created in his image, and then put it in the flesh. So if God hated that he created us, he wouldn't have sacrificed himself for us. So don't believe those Greeks and those Romans and those British especially, those King James, that IDONEI never wrote no book for no King James. Is it in the book of King James that IDONEI wrote this to King James? Or did he write it for Nebuchadnezzar on the wall? But who interpreted for Nebuchadnezzar? Israeli, called Daniel, not Daniel, Daniel. He interpreted the dream, which is spirit, which are elements, to Nebuchadnezzar. So if he had to do it for Nebuchadnezzar and all of the other people that had dreams and visions, like the pharaohs of Egypt, and he came to in a vision and dream to Miriam, that you call Mary, and to the father Joseph, that you call Joseph, and to Elizabeth and Zachariah, would make you think that he gave it all to King James. King James came so much later. The Roman Empire had fell before the Templars went to try to find all the merchandise of the Golden Ark. See? So King James was given testimony by hearsay from his scholars that went to Israel and wrote the book on rumors, trying to trace down things like a scientist, but they were doing it on rumors. Don't never believe in hearsay if you don't understand the word of IDONEI through the book of Job. Because when you look at everybody in the entire Bible, no matter who it is, outside of John the Baptist, Elijah the holy prophet that went in the fiery chariot, Isaiah and Mushi, those four winds are the only ones that knew about Job, that you call Job. And that's why those three appeared on the Mount of Olives in Transfiguration, because you didn't see Job there, though, did you? Because Job was a spirit created by the spirit of IDONEI as a vision, and use your thoughts of goodness from Job and not that of the evil one, which is self-thought. That is the devil. So if you're looking for a man to be the devil, no, look at the man's thoughts and you'll see the devil and learn of him. Because only way that you can understand and see the devil is what he does. And he does from his thoughts. And that is Satan. Satan is the thought of evil. And when you see the people doing the thoughts of evil, as Moses described when he wrote the book, and then handed down the law of IDONEI Elohim, that was the law of Job in a vision. It's in my head, but it knew that my heart was on my mom being left behind. It was quiet. Nobody could hear it but me. I'm in the spirit. I look up and I see this craft cruising at a very smooth cruise. And it was 3/4 the size of the earth. And the ship that I saw was flat, like a, how can I describe the craft that I saw? It was like that movie Sea View, that submarine. The design of it was sort of like that, but it was made out of the clouds. And I looked up, straight up above my head, and I saw this craft. It had 7 windows. It had 2 side by side, At the back, moving forward toward the front, was 2 more windows in the bottom of this craft. Moving forward toward the front, right before you get to the front, was 2 more windows. And then up to the front was 1 window, which totaled 7 windows. And I looked and I became frightful when I looked up close at those windows. Those windows were 7 eyes, and they were looking down upon the earth. And I wondered, and those eyes knew that I was becoming frightful, the way they were showing me that these windows were eyes. And on this craft, there was 2 canisters on the right, long canisters, like gas canisters that you put in a mobile home to hold your propane. But they were long canisters. And there was 2 on the right, one above another, like wings. And then on the other side was 2 more canisters on the left side, one up on top of another, which meant 2 wings on each side, one covering the bottom, one at the top. And I said to myself, what is this I am seeing? Again, I'm wondering, what am I seeing? Remember, this is one of my dreams, and I was be allowed to interpret the dream. Same as Daniel, the writing on the wall, and Daniel was allowed to interpret to Nebuchadnezzar what the writing was, and I will interpret to you what I am explaining to you, what I saw in my dream and my vision. So the eyes spoke with me, and they told me, you wonder what you see? And I said, yes. They said, come up here inside of the craft. And I was lifted up inside of the craft. And I asked the eyes, which were voices, 7 voices, and I asked one of them, I said, what are those canisters on the side of this thing you're in? Meaning this craft that I was brought up into. And one of the voices said, go and take a look at the one on the right and observe. So I went to the right canister inside and I looked. And it was long as far as my eye could see. And there was bookshelves in there. And I said, wow, it's a whole lot of books here. And they're on shelves, like a library. I said, this is like a library. And I said, what is all of these books? I asked this one eye and the voice that spoke with me. And he said, do I know what they are? Knowing that I didn't, but I want to know what they were. And he explained to me what those books were. He says, these books are the book of life. Each book is of a different person which has lived upon the earth. And the eyes that you see looking down upon the earth are the eyes which see and know everything that a man has done since the beginning of man on earth. We write their works and we place them in these books. And we never sleep. We go day and night. And we write no matter what your thought is, what you do, what they do, what anyone says, we know. This is what was explained to me inside of this craft. And I said, what be those on the left? Those canisters, the 2 canisters on the left. And the voice spoke with me from the eyes. Remember, I never see the face. The voice that spoke with me were like the 7 lights that I saw at the age of 7 years old. when I turned to see who saved me from getting run over by that car and those drunkards, when I found the $5, these were those smiling eyes that I told you I saw at 7. Now,